What up, everybody? Brian Willis here, no relation to Bruce, and very happy new year to all of you. Hope 2023 brings you all your heart's desires, and I hope you also work towards them. You saw this video coming, so the last two videos I criticized Winky D's album artwork, and in the next one I decided to make my own version of what I thought his album cover should have looked like. Before I get into it, I would like to say very well done to Winky D. He had a very successful launch. We had prolific artists like Saint Flo, Enzo Aishal, Holy Tin, bringing out lovely performances at the HICC. The venue was filled. I don't think there was any other prolific event happening during his launch. So well done to Winky D for that. So the album cover that I did was met with a lot of mixed emotions. So a lot of people liked it. At the same time, a lot of people didn't like it. And I'm not really concerned about the people that didn't like it. I am concerned about the people that didn't like it because they didn't understand it. Because people were asking me questions like, what was the point of why is there a bathtub on the artwork? And that to me showed me that people did not understand. Well, those people that asked that question did not understand. Of course, there were people that understood the tub reference and they still didn't like it. I'm cool with that. It's opinions. I'm not going to be out here arguing opinions. But I felt as a designer, I needed to do something instead of just complain about somebody else's artwork. Just try and come up with a version that you think would have been better. Now, the idea that I was going for was, for all of those who don't know, the Eureka moment came about when Archimedes, the very famous mathematician slash scientist, he went into a bathtub, and as he sat in the bathtub, some of the water spilt out, and that's when he discovered the laws of displacement to add on to his equation for buoyancy or something like that, because he discovered that the amount of water that spills out of the tub is the equivalent of his weight. And there was some gold crown that the king had asked him to check if it was real or not, and that actually helped him to discover that that crown was not real. So that's even why, if you notice, Winky D, when he came up with the launch for his album, he was in a tub at some point and he ran out with a towel on. Actually, that wasn't historically correct, because Archimedes, when he ran out after discovering that part of the equation, he was actually butt-ass naked. And he was screaming, "Eureka, Eureka, I found it." But obviously, for obvious reasons, Winky D wasn't about to do something like that. So that was the reference the tub was making. Because I didn't want to focus on the light bulb brain type thing, because I felt like, the whole light bulb and brain fusion was a bit overplayed. Even the whole light bulb thing, I felt like it was a bit overplayed. That was my take on it, okay? I thought, let me use the tub, because the tub symbolizes the exact moment or the beginning of everything else that followed after that, including the light bulb. So for me, I felt like that tub was an actual birth to the light bulb moment. So this is why I used the tub in the design. And as for the lettering, no, the lettering is not intestines, okay? that was a brain texture that I had to carefully model around each letter. And the enlightenment moment that people were saying was missing in this design was actually there. It just wasn't as obvious as people wanted it to be. If you look closely to the design, you'll see that the Eureka lettering is actually being hit by a light. It's actually being hit by a light, hence the little highlights towards the right side of each letter. That was my idea of showing the enlightenment moment without really showing the light bulb, because like I said before, I was trying to avoid using the light bulb because I felt like the light bulb was too much of a cliche. It's been overused in design. It's you know, I just didn't want it like that. That's why I put the Eureka in the tub with the brain texture. This was the idea behind the artwork. So once again, I take all criticism. I accept all criticism. I just don't accept criticism from people that don't understand the artwork. There's another issue about the design that I thought I needed to address as well, was the album name is Eureka, Eureka. Okay, so people, there was this one particular lovely person who decided to point out that I changed the album's title. I did not change the album's title. I just felt like putting Eureka, Eureka in that brain texture on top of each other or whatnot would have been a bit cumbersome. It would have been too much going on. So hence, that's why there's that X2 at the end of the name. That means Eureka twice. Say Eureka twice. I mean, some people are like, but that's not the name. It's Eureka, Eureka. But, you know, in music, when there's an X2, even when you're like reading a chorus or something like that, on the chorus, it says ×2, meaning repeat the chorus. So repeat that word. Eureka, Eureka. That's what it means. Also, I also felt like the X2, it'll add a bit more of a formula looking aesthetic to the design, which would add on to that formula under the tub. Okay, so I did not rename the album. So now that you understand the artwork, hopefully your criticism will have a lot more context. If you still don't like it, again, I'm not trying to convince you to like the artwork, but I just felt like it was a different approach to what he had done, because I felt like his original design it was a bit over designed from my perspective. I felt like it was a bit over designed. But hey, congrats to Winky D on his successful album launch. And another thing, Zimbabweans, that we need to understand is just because somebody has an opposing opinion of somebody else's stuff, it doesn't mean that person hates that person. I have no reason to hate Winky D. You understand? I have no reason to hate the gaffer. I have no reason to hate the extraterrestrial. I have no reason to hate the ninja. Yeah, he's got a lot of names. So without further ado, I'd like to say thank you so much for the feedback, positive and negative. Welcome all feedback. Brian Willis, no relation to Bruce, and this is Gloves Off, said W. I'm out.